Hi, Tiffany. How are you today?
I'm doing all right. Um, yeah, I'm doing all right. How you doing?
I'm good. I just want to remind you, and I appreciate you taking the time out and meeting with me today. This session is going to be recorded, and it will only be shared between you, myself, and my professor. Is that okay again?
Yes, that is okay.
Thank you. So, can you tell me a little bit about what's going on with you today?
Um, I don't know. I just thought I should probably talk to somebody. I've been feeling a little anxious, I guess. I don't really know. I've never had these feelings before.
Um, what kind of brings on the anxiety or the anxious feeling?
Um, it's basically whenever I have to go into work or be around like coworkers. Um, I don't know, my job is very team focused and I just feel like I've been struggling with my coworkers for a little bit now and I just don't want to go to work, which causes me anxiety because I do have to go to work.
Okay. So I'm hearing a lot that you're getting those anxious feelings when there, and it sounds like it's work related to your co-workers, to being there. So it's sounds frustrating a bit.
Yeah, it is because I don't want to go in and I have to go in because I have to work with my team.
Yeah. So can I ask, and I want to get a little bit more into about what those anxious feelings are, along with where the anxiety and stuff come with exactly. So can you exactly tell me what the anxious feelings are like for you?
Um, I think I get anxious before work, right? And then after like during work or um even after, I just get like mad. Like my anxiety turns into like anger and it just makes me just not want to talk to my coworkers or be around them or I don't know. It's weird. I'm not explaining this correctly.
No, that's okay. It just sounds like it has definitely has to do with your coworkers. At least that's what I'm hearing. But what do you feel in your body? What do you feel when that anxious feeling comes?
So when the anxious feeling comes, I start feeling like my hands get kind of shaky and a little sweaty. My heartbeat kind of goes like flutters in my chest.
Yeah.
Um, what else? My brain kind of freezes up a little bit, like I can't think properly, and I just kind of like automatically respond to stuff. Like I'm not processing what's going on. Does that
Okay.
make sense?
Yeah, so it sounds like when those feelings come, you get a lot of bodily experiences, shaky feeling, shakiness. You said your heart was kind of beating fast, um, and some other experiences too for you. So, when do these feelings happen the most for you? When do you really start feeling that anxiety building?
Well, do you want an example? Would that make it easier for you?
Yeah, so basically, yeah, that's what I'm looking for. So can you tell me exactly when those happened for you? Give me an example.
Okay. Okay, so I can tell you about something that happened yesterday. So I was going into the lunchroom where all my coworkers have lunch, and I thought everything went really, really well today because we all worked on a project together. It went so well, I thought. And then they were already in the lunchroom, and they were all eating, and like I, I don't know what else they were doing, but they were eating and talking probably. And I walk in, and then like as I walk in, they all just start like laughing hysterically. And I'm like, are they laughing at me? So then I was nervous. So I don't know, anxious that they were, I don't know. So my automatic response, like what I wanted to like immediately do was run out of there. And that's what I did. And I got angry. And I feel like that keeps happening. Does
Does
that
that
make sense?
Yeah, so it sounds like that them being in the lunchroom talking and laughing, when you get there makes it feel like, does it make it you feel like they're talking about and laughing at you?
Well, I mean, wouldn't that make sense? Because I just walk in the door and they just start like laughing.
Not necessarily, but let's kind of go through that a bit. So I kind of want to do a little exercise with you from our CBT model. So what basically that is we kind of look at the action that occurred, which is you know, walking in and observing what taking place, the behavior or the feelings, which is also, you know, you seeing that they're talking and laughing, that you then you know, you observe them and you all of a sudden you thought, like you said, that are they talking about me, are they laughing at me, and then that just made you mad. Those are the feelings. So can we break that down a little bit?
Sure.
Awesome. So when you walked in, what did you observe again?
Well, they were talking and then they started laughing. That's what I saw.
All right, so in CBT we kind of, let's rationalize that a bit. Is it possible that they're not talking or laughing at you?
Well, I guess I thought that they were talking and laughing about me, but they could have been like, well, now that I'm thinking about it, they could have been, I don't know, laughing at a joke that somebody made about something else.
And you just happen to come in at the perfect time?
And I came in at the worst time.
So it could, I mean, I can see where it's easy to jump through those conclusions, but rationally, is it possible that that honestly you're probably the farthest from their thought mind or at that moment?
I guess it is possible. Yes.
Yeah,
Maybe. Maybe.
maybe that's okay. All right, so you go in there, they're at a table in the middle of a conversation and they're laughing. It seems like it happened as soon as you walk in.
Right.
So what do you do? What is going through, what are you doing at that point?
So when I walked in and that happened, so I was thinking that they were laughing at me. So I automatically started feeling like anxious, like feeling those like their shaky hands and like the sweaty hands on my heart racing because I started to get a little anxious and which started turning into anger. I started getting angry at them because I thought that they were um, talking about me.
Yeah. Well, is I think your anger at that point is justified to how you are feeling. And it's
Hmm.
okay to be angry. Um, but let's look at the situation. You said that you didn't really know what they're talking about, but it just felt like they might have been talking about you because when you walked in, all of a sudden they break out in giggles and laugh.
Right.
So, but we also kind of established that maybe they could have been joking about a story someone was saying or a joke.
Yeah. And then if that's the case, then I wouldn't have gotten angry.
Yeah,
Maybe I would, you know, laughed with them if I knew what it was.
yeah. So so say this situation happens again and you know the same group of people are sitting in a room and they're talking and they're laughing and all of a sudden the laugh, you know, becomes even more so when you walk in. What's the one thing we can try not to do?
Well, I can try to try not to do? I can try not to just leave the area.
Uh-huh. What about your thoughts?
I can try to maybe not think the worst.
Okay, that sounds good. What can you actually do to probably maybe help disprove the worst?
I can try to think of different reasons why the situation could be happening. I could try to kind of pause and think a little logically about what's going on, which is really hard. I'm just saying, in the moment, it's really hard, but I can try to think of different reasons why it could be happening, different thoughts, I guess.
Now, are you close with any of them? Do you happen to know them on at least, you know, able to sit down, talk, have a conversation with them?
I'm the new person at my job, so I am just starting to get to know everybody. They're really close and they have all been working together for a long time, but one of them seems really nice to me, so maybe I can try um, maybe having a coffee with her or something and talking about it.
Mm-hmm. Just by, having starting that conversation, maybe starting to build that rapport so that ultimately when you go in the room, maybe you can actually join them for lunch.
Yeah, maybe.
So if you're actually part of that conversation, do you think that you'll have as much anxieties about your coworkers?
No, I guess if I'm part of the group, I wouldn't really be feeling any kind of anxiety because it's only my coworkers, I guess, that are truly giving me the anxiety about work.
So it sounds like that we just don't know them completely yet, or we're not as close to them, or we're just at least getting to know them.
Yeah.
So maybe if we start forming those relationships with your coworkers, that maybe that can kind of ease the feelings of anxiety towards work itself, because at least you'll have at least a group of people you can rely on.
Yeah, I think I could definitely give it a try. I mean, it can't hurt to try because I don't want to change jobs.
Yeah, no, you shouldn't have to change jobs, especially if it's a new job. I mean, it's
Right.
hard to find work these days.
It is. Yeah.
So, okay, so we've kind of looped around the whole thing, right? So we've identified that you're getting anxious and stuff because of work, which may have something to do with coworkers that we may not personally know yet, right?
Right.
And then maybe we can also um, start building relationships or rapport with said workers, and hopefully that will kind of just ease those feelings about them.
Yeah, I mean, I could try it. That could be something that is like one of my goals for this week.
So in speaking of goals, what is one thing that you would like to try and do this week itself?
Maybe I could I'll start with a super simple goal. I can try to um I guess maybe not super simple for me, but try to think of different options other than like my automatic thought. I can try to like take a pause before I react to things.
Okay, so that's great on a big scale and stuff. But what can you do in terms? You have mentioned earlier that maybe you can try and have a cup of coffee, right?
Yeah, I think maybe I can ask if one of them, the one lady that I'm thinking about wants to have a cup of coffee
Okay.
because maybe she's not available this week. So maybe I could just ask this week and that could be my goal.
Yeah. So we have two goals, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Getting a cup of coffee with one of your coworkers and try to taking that pause before and kind of like and try to see if we can change those automatic thoughts from they're talking about me to maybe they're just having a fun conversation amongst themselves. That has
Yeah.
nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
You think that's something that you can do within the week?
I think so. I think it's something I could definitely try. And if I don't do it this week, maybe I can try again next week.
Hey, I mean,
I didn't understand that.
this is not a race. It's a marathon. You take the steps, and if it doesn't work out this week, we can try again next week. There's no pressure as long as you're comfortable doing this.
Yeah, I think I'm comfortable with that.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming in today, and I look forward to seeing your progress next week.
Thank you.
Okay.